In other news, the Electricity Company of Ghana wants Parliament to approve an increase in end-user tariffs of at least 37.6% to cover the losses it is making on electricity sales under the current tariff structure, which has been in effect since April this year. This year's edition of the annual major review of electricity tariffs is currently ongoing with the supervision of the PURC, although a firm decision on the applicable tariffs for 2019 is not expected until December 9. The review process began on October 8 with the PURC inviting utility providers including power generators such as Volta River Authority and several independent power producers, transmission company Gridco and distribution companies ECG and the Northern Electricity Department to present their proposals for the level of tariffs they want to be imposed for 2019. However, while the various companies are still being tight-lipped as to the tariffs they are requesting under the review, ECG's request for an increase has been revealed by the Chairman of Parliament's Mines and Energy Committee, Emmanuel Akwesi-Gyamfi, as part of his response to allegations by the minority in Parliament that an unauthorized increase in tariffs has been affected since the middle of this year. That tariffs has been affected since the middle of this year. And joining me on the phone line is Kojo Poku. He is an energy expert. And good afternoon and thanks for your time.
Good afternoon and good afternoon to your viewers.
Now, Kojo, is the demand for a 38% increase in tariffs by ECG justified?
Well, we would have to be patient as consumers to look at why they, as ECG, is asking for the increase. One of the things that I'm aware of, which is hurting ECG, is the CD to dollar exchange. You know, for some time now, the rate that was done as of last year and the review downward sometime, I think earlier this year, was done with a certain rate in mind. Now, since the CD has weakened a little bit against the dollar, it means that when we pay our bills in CDs, ECG pays these IPPs in dollars, and they basically have to find more CDs to be able to pay the IPPs at the price that they have agreed. So it means that if there is a shortfall, we need to be 100% sure of what they are asking for and what goes into the 38% that they are asking for.
Now, Kojo, this comes to Gridco. Are you expecting them to increase their tariffs?
No, Gridco, you see, Gridco only charges a transmission fee. So for Gridco, I don't know what shortfalls Gridco would have. For me, mostly what happens is that if you look at what Gridco actually does for us, it is when Gridco transmits power for the IPPs for the various parts of the country, and they charge a specific amount. So when it comes to, unless the Gridco comes out and give a justification, what we should remember is that there's a rate of inflation in the country. Now, every year, things inches up a little bit. So their cost of operation would have been a bit more expensive than it was last year. So it's only right for them to come and justify why they think that they should be given a lot more to do their operations. For ECG, I think we should wait a little bit because bear in mind, in the first quarter of next year, ECG now goes over or gets handed over to the new company, which is the Power Distribution Service Company Limited, their concession led by Meralco from Philippines. And there's a whole new activities that's coming on board with that. So I think if ECG is asking for an increase now, it will be interesting to know how that factors into the new takeover that is coming in next year.
Now, Kojo, this increment is coming at a time when individuals and companies are really complaining about hardship in the country. Do you see a situation where government may step in to absorb the increment?
Not at all. I don't see why government will come in. You see, we've moved on, and as a nation, I think the bit where government comes in and gives subsidies and absorb increases, to me, is not the right way to develop a nation. Most of the problems we've had in the past in the energy sector and we are continuing to have that in the energy sector, is because government, because of politics, would want to absorb or stop increases if there is one. What I am saying is that we should look at it fairly. We should analyze what they are asking for. If it is justified, then we do it. That doesn't mean that there should be an increase.
Unfortunately, we have lost Kojo Poku. Well, Kojo Poku is an energy expert, and